In this video, we will go over the 4 biggest fears that might be holding you back from getting started in real estate investing. And then we'll go over some real-life examples of how it's possible to overcome these fears. Hi, my name is Ryan Cha, your friendly neighborhood real estate investor, and I show new investors how to get their first profitable deal. Now, the very first fear that might be keeping you stuck in paralysis is the fear of wasting your time. If you're feeling this, you are not alone. Even the famous Walt Disney felt this exact fear. Back in 1928, early in his career, Walt Disney had his biggest cartoon character at the time, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and his whole animation crew stolen out from under him by his backstabbing business partner. And 3 years later, seeing that his work in animation and film was going nowhere, financially at least, he fell into a deep depression and had a nervous breakdown. But of course we all know he got back up, and it wasn't until 10 full years later in 1938 that Walt Disney had his first major success, when his new company produced Snow White, which grossed $6.5 million, which was a lot of money back then. And today, everyone all over the world celebrates Disney's films, animations, and theme parks for bringing a lot of joy into people's lives by stimulating our imagination. Imagine if Walt Disney, after 10 years of not getting enough traction, just threw in the towel. I can tell you that the world would be a lot sadder today if he did. So, what made the difference? Walt Disney realized this one truth, that nothing is ever wasted. Because all of the work that you put into your craft builds up your skill sets, which eventually leads you to the success that you desire. It is more important about the person you become after the work that you put in rather than the work itself. When I was buying one of my very first deals in real estate investing, I thought was a perfect deal. It had all the bells and whistles. I went to actually visit the property in person, and I also read through the 70-page home inspection report line by line, already deciding in my head what my negotiation plans would be. However, when I finally got ready to put in a fair offer, I found out that the seller had already accepted another offer on the property. I was heartbroken. It really was such a beautiful property. And of course, I was tempted to think that, wow, this was such a waste of my time. But then I realized it really wasn't, because it gave me great practice in vetting a deal. And it taught me to be on the constant lookout for deals so that I can quickly put in an offer on a property that I want the same day that it hits the market. And this one lesson allowed me to buy several more properties before other investors even had a chance to see them. Okay, let's move on to fear number 2, the fear of losing your money. Every reasonable investor that I know to some extent is worried about losing their investment, which is natural, of course. To conquer this fear, let's go over how Elon Musk did it himself. As we all know, Elon had numerous setbacks at Tesla and SpaceX. And in December of 2008, he was only 1 month away from losing everything and declaring bankruptcy. However, we all know that he persisted, and by being resourceful, he was able to rescue both companies. And now it seems like the whole car industry is moving towards electric vehicles because of Tesla's tremendous success. You see, money is like a spring. You have to invest it, and sometimes you do lose it. But you are building up all of this potential energy in the form of knowledge and your skill sets until one day, bam, your income and your net worth explode. Now, most of us won't be a billionaire like Elon Musk statistically, but to become a multi-millionaire in real estate investing in 8 to 10 years is achievable for anyone who focuses on it long enough. On my very first property, I thought I lost money because I overpaid for it. This was back in 2016. However, from 2016 to 2023 when I sold it, the property went up $175,500. And I was able to reinvest all those gains into buying a lot more properties. This just goes to show you, if you hold on to an asset long enough, you always make money. And especially in real estate, usually you'll build a lot of wealth. So don't let the fear of losing money scare you off, because everyone who is successful loses money temporarily at some point or another. But if you persevere, your income and net worth will launch to that next level. Not only will you feel a huge sense of relief, you will also feel a huge sense of achievement, that you earned that success through your blood, sweat, and tears. Now, the third fear that new investors usually encounter is the fear of buying the wrong deal. This actually happened to me on my very first rental. Just about 4 months after I bought my first rental, I got this call from one of my tenants at 11 p.m. at night. He was saying that there's sewage that's backing out of the kitchen sink, and it's all over the kitchen floor, and it smells like what sewage smells like. Not only that, it was backing up into the showers as well. So I had to call a sanitation crew to get out there and a plumber, and we found that the whole line had to be replaced, which cost $9,000. I also found out at the same house I had to replace the whole HVAC, which cost $15,000. At the end of that year, after all of the invoices came in, I found out that I actually owed $30,000 for that first house. As you can imagine, I was frustrated and doubtful. Could real estate investing really work for me? I really thought I had bought the wrong deal. Now, over time, California's appreciation rates saved me, but I learned to thoroughly evaluate a deal before buying it. If I had just done a sewage lateral line inspection on the house, for example, before buying it, I would have asked the seller to replace that line. So make sure to always order thorough inspections and go over them line by line so that you don't make the same mistake that I made and save yourself a lot of frustration. Okay, now on to that fourth and final fear, which is the fear of making a mistake. Now, as you can see from my sewage line story, I made a big mistake and it sucked. But what most people don't think about is how each mistake paves the way for your future success. Because of that one lesson that I learned on that house, I now order sewage lateral line inspections on all of my properties. And after purchasing 15 properties, I can confidently say that doing this one inspection saved me well over $30,000 on sewage line replacements, and will continue to save me a lot of money as I continue to expand my rental portfolio. My $9,000 mistake, in essence, saved me from future $90,000 mistakes when I have a lot more properties. So, don't be afraid to make a mistake, because mistakes are our best teachers on the journey to success. Think about it this way: you learn nothing from an easy victory. In fact, most people who just have everything handed to them don't do very well under pressure or adversity when it eventually comes in their life. With that being said, if this is your first rental, I highly recommend hiring a great mentor or coach who has done this process themselves already and can help you avoid most of the mistakes newbies will make. After all, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends so that I can reach more people who are really struggling with getting started in real estate investing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.